Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Chopper History today, brought to you by Indian Motorcycles and Law Tigers. I guess this way. Sorry. So today's guest is going to be Otto from Biltwell. But before we get to that, I want to remind everybody of our Daytona schedule. So here it is. Saturday, March 3rd, Sons of Speed, New Speedway. That is the vintage circle track racing. I will be riding 2 different motorcycles on Team Competition Distributing. We're really excited about that. So that's Saturday, March 3rd. Wednesday, March 8th is the Perrowoods Paint Show at the Broken Spoke. If you have a custom paint job, come enter your bike. Even if you don't, come check out the bikes. You usually get a really good crowd. The Broken Spoke's a cool place to come hang out. So that's Wednesday, March 8th.
And also our paint show, best bike, best paint gets $1,000 cash. Plus, we do hand-painted trophies for all the class winners and best paint. Plus, we have a lot of prizes that we're giving away along with to the winners.
Yeah, so that's Wednesday, March 8th at the Broken Spoke. Thursday, March 9th. We'll be at Willie's Tropical Chopper Show on Route 1 in Ormond Beach. He always has some wicked cool bikes there. Come check that out. That's Thursday, March 9th. So if you guys are coming to Daytona and want to come find us, these are the events that we will definitely be at, along with some other ones. But make sure you come to these events. The Perrowoods Paint Show, Wednesday, March 8th. Also, don't forget we have our shirts available at Competition Distributing. Their website, you can get t-shirts and hats over there. And also, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, the Perrowoods channel. Just search for Perrowoods. We're constantly uploading videos over there for you guys to tune into. And Instagram, where it is. There it is. Follow us on Instagram, Perrowoods_CycleFab. Well, same thing over there. We're constantly trying to upload stuff on that. So if that's where you guys can keep up with us. All right. So the comments, which thanks guys for tuning in. I know I see a lot of these comments of people that are always watching. The dude, I hope you like your sweatshirt.
Hey, dude.
Mike Draco, Jeremy, Gary, Brad. So I had said who has stuff from Biltwell. Brad says I have gloves and a helmet. Matt French, Dennis Freem, Greg Snyder, Tim Gibbons, Bruno, Jeff. Saturday is
Flea,
the 4th.
Craig Ferry.
Did I mess that up? Yeah, so it's Saturday, whatever the date is on Saturday.
For what?
Sons of Speed.
Oh. Okay.
All right, so let's bring on our guest. All right, let's see. Work. Okay. Hey, Otto.
Hey, Otto.
Jody, Dave, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for inviting me on your podcast.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So tell us, let's get right to the point. Tell us a little bit about Biltwell.
Biltwell's been in business about 17 years. Bill and Magoo started it. After they were kind of getting into motorcycles and thought this would be a fun scene to maybe do stuff in, and they were right. It's been a good, successful business for a long time now, and their mantra has always been ride motorcycles, have fun. It's we're non-denominational. It doesn't matter what kind of motorcycle you're riding, just as long as you're riding, you know. We promoted the company by hosting a bunch of events, races, doing fun stuff, you know, kind of demanding people show up somewhere to hang out and party with us, not just meet us in a parking lot and buy our shit. You know, it's more about let's go on a ride, let's have some fun. And,
you guys definitely have some fun. So tell us, this weekend, as a matter of fact, you have an event going on. I believe that's Sunday. Or is that
Saturday, the Parts and Labor Custom Motorcycle Expo. It's at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. That's in North San Diego County. This will be our second year there. It's indoors. This is maybe like 12 or so years ago, we had a parking lot sale, and it's kind of evolved. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. And finally, we've turned it into like a little bit of a show where we got This year we'll probably have about 50 vendors, 60 or so custom motorcycles,
Wow.
and we're just it's something that we can help show off some of our talented friends' brands. For us, we're blowing out some stuff, overstock and things like that build up throughout the year. And
Okay.
it's just a chance to hang out with some people from all over the country. Like Clock will be there, Bob Seeger will be there.
Oh yeah,
SNS.
Bobby's already there.
Bobby's there
Yeah,
already?
Bobby's already there.
Yeah, he's already here. You know,
He's probably already harassing you.
bringing down our average like always.
Yeah.
Sounds
But at least
about
he's got Gabby with him, so you know, somebody will be in the booth actually, not just out chasing coffee and talking. So, yeah, man, it should be a good one. The Del Mar Fairgrounds is they're known for their horse racing. In the summertime, they've been racing horses there for a million years, and it's a real venue, you know. So we're pretty proud to be there. It took me 5 years of calling before I even got a call back.
Wow.
To take over one of the halls. You know, it's the kind of place where they've had, you know, the gun show's been there for 30 years. The fishing and boat show's been there for 30 years. The home and garden show. It's that kind of venue, you know, and COVID, fortunately or unfortunately, knocked a couple of those things out. And finally they had a hall open up, and so we were able to get in there last year. We didn't burn the place down. So they invited us back with an increased police presence. But we have got the invite back, and so now this year we'll be in a 55,000 square foot hall, and we hope to fill that up with, again, brands, friends, and custom motorcycles.
Yeah. Is it all going to be all indoors?
All indoors, man. We usually don't get much weather in California, but we are expecting a little bit of rain this weekend. As you've watched the news, you see we've been getting kind of blasted with some rain this year. But yeah, since we're indoors, it's not going to really matter. And I think California rain's a little different than maybe Midwest rain. So it won't affect us much.
Yeah, I did a show at Del Mar years and years ago for when I was doing stuff with PPG. I did the Good Guys hot rod show there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's another famous thing that's been there for you know, a long time, and those events don't go away. And they've had, you know, every weekend there is booked basically for years, you know, and so it was real hard to get in there. But yeah, Good Guys is one of the ones that kind of blazed the trail. Again, the gun show, I don't think is there anymore, but that was one that's been there forever. The Fred Hall fishing show, you know, these are certain things in Southern California. There's like staples, like you always go to Good Guys, you go to the gun show, you go to the fishing show, you know, these are things you check out, you know. So to be in a facility like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Yeah, it's easy to find, and especially where it's indoors, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's not. We wanted to get friends from other places in the United States to come out, and it's not hard to twist people's arms into coming out to San Diego in January. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
usually
right.
Everybody's had their fair share of snow and everything else by now, and they're looking to thaw out a little bit. And also the holidays are over, so you can get back to our regularly scheduled programs, like, you know, playing with motorcycles and hot rods and stuff like that. So this is like the first slot we could get that helps it out. Usually people want to come out of that holiday slumber and do something, you know, fun, and it's family friendly. You know, we love kids. We got a couple kid brands there, and yeah, just it's not a hard sell. You know, we're not asking for major time commitment from anybody. You know, come out for a couple hours, buy a couple things if you like, eat a hot dog, and check out some bikes.
Yeah. So what's your next, you know, how many more events are you guys going to be? Do you do stuff out of California?
We attend other people's events out of California. Yeah. I got a couple events for the year.
Wow.
1 page. 2
I guess
page.
so.
Will you guys come to Daytona?
We won't make it this year. That Daytona and Sturgis is a place we come maybe every few years. You know, we will be at Sturgis this year.
Yeah. Are you set up in Sturgis?
We'll most likely be set up either at JMP or Black Hills Harley.
Yeah.
One of those two places.
What is Biltwell? So I think you guys are kind of, or I assume, known for helmets. Is that your best sellers?
Yeah, absolutely. Helmets is our bread and butter at this point. We make some hard parts, handlebars, risers, pegs. We have some luggage that we've been pretty successful with
Yes.
but the lion's share of the business is motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, let's talk about your luggage, which, hold on, sorry, I uploaded a picture and then I didn't add it. I have one of your bags. I don't know what it's called. It's like the X foil or something.
Yeah, X-Fill, and then they have a name,
So there it is right behind me.
yeah, I
And
think maybe that's the 48 or the 60, maybe, I
it's the
don't know.
big one.
Okay.
So that bag has been to almost every state.
That's awesome.
Literally on the back of my bike. I counted the states last night, and it was like 43 states that bag has been in on my motorcycle.
Bill, he's our art director and co-founder. He designs the bags, and there's a lot of offerings for bags, and there's a lot in the motorcycle space as well. But we try to put our little spin on it and put stuff in there that'll be helpful for guys traveling, doing exactly what you're doing. That's what that's what all of our bags are made for. Is like, pack your stuff up and go on a trip. That's our whole thing. Is it's cool to ride down to bike night down the street, but it's better to do like what you do, Cannonball or Land Speed. Speaking of Land Speed, how many records you got now? 17, 18?
16.
16.
I had 17.
Well, there's always room for growth.
Yeah. Do you know Jay Allen?
I do.
Jay Allen. Yeah. I had 17, and Jay Allen took one of mine.
Okay, well, it's time for you to take that back. JP.
Well, I'm okay with him because he was such a mentor to me at the Salt. And he's been trying to get that record for so long, like even before I had it. So I'm okay with him taking one. Maybe when he takes two, then I'll have to go back and start, getting back out there.
Yeah, that's like you said, if you lose it to a guy like that, I guess it's not that hurtful. It's like if you lost a record to Wink or something like that. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's funny. Jay Allen and Wink were two of the biggest influences that we had when we started racing. When we were building the first race bike, I was on the phone with Jay and Wink all the time. I mean, every other day I was on the phone talking to them, and they really helped us a lot, steered us in the right direction, and were very responsible for a lot of our success.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear that, Dave, because Wink, racers by nature, I think, are blowhards, and they like to run their mouth.
Yeah.
And Wink is no exception. But you go to Wink's shop, and the walls are lined with records. I mean, you know what I mean? He has all of the records to back up all of his talk.
Yeah.
And you name it, Wink has done it. He's done it by himself. I'm sad. I've had his help on a few FXRs. He just moved back to your guys' side of the country.
North Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That guy gets more done in a day than most people get done in a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's with him getting older and winding down a little bit. He still just sends it. And like you said, he is a wealth of knowledge.
He is.
It could be hit and miss motors. It could be airplanes. It could be hot rods. It could be FXRs. And he's just done it all, man. And at a high level too,
Yeah.
I love Wink, and I'm happy to say I spent a few nights in the shop with him. If you go to Wink's shop, always on the TV, there's only one. He only plays one movie or one show, and it's World's Fastest Indian.
Yeah.
No,
nonstop.
Yeah.
Over and 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 over.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a quick story. What year were we in Laughlin? It was like 2010, maybe 11.
Yeah. No, it was, like 9 or 10.
Yeah, we were in Laughlin around 2010, and we decided to take a ride over to Havasu?
Yeah,
right?
Lake Havasu.
Over to Lake Havasu, and it was Jody, myself, two of my friends, and Wink. And Wink had one of his hot rod FXRs. So we went over there. We met up with another friend. We were out on his boat all day. We had a great time. We left there just about dark to head back to Laughlin, which is like probably an hour away. And it was, we were only on the road about 10 minutes. And, we were all acting up, and Wink decided to do, a whole shot, and he blew the belt, the drive belt on his bike. So Jody and Wink and one of my buddies stayed on the side of the road, and it was out in the middle of nowhere. It was dark. Me and my other buddy we went to a convenience store, which was like 10 miles away, bought a length of clothesline rope, went back, and we hooked a rope onto Wink's bike and onto a crash bar of my friend's bagger. And we towed Wink back to Laughlin. It was a good 40 miles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was far.
At 50 miles an hour with clothesline rope. And we hit about a dozen traffic lights and hit every single traffic light on green. And, we got back there. We all laughed about it. It was like we couldn't have got back any quicker if we were driving, if we were under power,
That's Wink. That doesn't surprise me. There's nothing that keeps that man down, as you know. There's nothing. I mean, any adversity, he just fixes it and moves on. And you can learn a lot from Wink.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hey, Otto, so tell us about the Biltwell People's Champ. We want to hear about this competition from your perspective.
So that's something we took over from a magazine. They'd been doing it for a minute, and we had been helping them, and then they decided they wanted to get out of it. So we helped take it over. And what it is, it's a bunch of guys all throw their hats in the ring early on in the internet, and we let the internet vote down the builders till we get down to the final 6. Those final 6 are.
How many are you starting with?
We usually have about 100 entrants.
Wow!
From all over the world. I think the last year or so we've kind of been only going with guys from the U.S. because it's been real spotty getting people coming into the country from other places, to be reliable to get them over here, with all the stuff going on.
So out of all those entries, how many do you pick to actually compete?
We don't pick any. The internet votes them down to 6.
But I mean, isn't there like 20 in it now?
Yeah, and those of we might have narrowed it down to that first 20. No, we narrowed. We start with that group. We go through the 100 entrants. We go through and we look at the bikes and say, okay, these guys are they're likely to finish their bike. Their bike's got good style. They're actually doing a lot of the work themselves. It's not a shop or somebody helping them out. It's somebody that's doing it in their garage.
Yeah.
And then we start voting down there from there with the internet's help. And then those final 6, they're invited out to California the day before Born Free. We have a little shakedown. They got to ride their bike about 50 miles over Ortega Highway. That's a little local mountain range. It's not giant, but your bike's got to run. And you're gonna have to start and stop and navigate some turns and cut through some traffic and then if you make it to the show under your bike's own power, then you're eligible for the final 6 voting, which is done online. And the winner we send home with 10 grand cash, and the runners up, they all get $1,000 and they get a bunch of prizes from sponsors like Lowbrow, SNS, Metzler, our motorcycle attorneys, Russ Brown. Those guys, everybody chips in to make sure even the guys that didn't make it as number 1, they still go home with some cash, help pay for their trip out here. And then the winner gets his bike gets put up in the Born Free show, and the runners up do too. But the winner gets in the invited builder corral at Born Free, and so then he's eligible to win the trip to Japan and all the other stuff. And he's mixing it up with the big boys like Max Schaff and Pangea Andy and Dave Polgreen and those kind of guys. So that's a big honor for a lot of those guys. It gets them seeded into what's arguably the best custom motorcycle show in the world, or one of them. Born Free.
Yeah, I would argue that it is. That was probably the best show that I went to. Just because it had just a array of cool bikes and like not that's my thing is like the older stuff. I don't really care about new stuff. So I mean, to me, that was cool. And then a lot of it goes back to like DP's roots, with diggers and long front ends and cool paint jobs and just
Laconia, 1969.
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah.
Fairwick showed up there on his 1964 Sportster
Right.
and set the whole ball in motion.
Yep.
And that
Yep.
the
No
King
kidding.
of Flames was born shortly
Yeah.
thereafter.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Custom motorcycling on the East Coast, it's Dave and his crew, and on the West Coast, it was Arlen and his crew. And
Yeah.
they met every year in the middle in Sturgis. And
So when does
I agree. We're just trying to keep that kind of lineage stuff going over here with the custom motorcycle. And I'm
And you
not
did
as
a good
biased
job.
as you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
you
the old
guys are.
stuff. I like the new stuff too. I think a lot of those guys are just as talented. But yeah, we're just trying to encourage that DIY stuff still. Our brand, we've made a lot of parts in the past for DIY builders and custom motorcycle guys, and our brand was started by people it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction to the $100,000 TV show
Yeah.
builders that most of us, maybe we looked up to those guys, but there was no way in hell we were ever affording any one of those bikes. You know what I mean? We were trying to make it work with what we had, especially when this brand was started mid-recession. It was like you had a lot of time on your hands, but you didn't have a lot of money. So it was like, get a shovel head, a cone shovel, probably, something that didn't cost $1 million, and make it cool and make it reliable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before cone shovels were expensive. Now they're getting expensive.
Yeah, well, that's the Chevy 350 of motorcycles, of old
Yeah.
bikes. It's hemispherical head. You can slap some electronic ignition in there. You put a good battery on it, and you can make that thing about as reliable as damn near any other, old Harley. I like Evos myself, and I think those are next in line to be cost a couple more bucks. But I'm an Evo guy. I could ride my Evo anywhere, and I have ridden it a bunch of places.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
No, that's cool.
The People's Champ, when does the voting for the 6?
I think it starts up. Let me look it up. It's coming up here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it next week?
February
Oh.
2nd to the 5th.
Okay, so the 2nd to the 5th, do people,
Yeah.
how do they vote? Is it on like Biltwell's website?
Yeah, it's online on the People's Champ website. And so if you go to the Biltwell People's Champ on Instagram, it'll have a link to all that stuff.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we'll start campaigning and we'll vote them down to 6. And then those 6 know they'll be in the running to come out to California, get their bikes done, make the ride over or take a highway, put them on the box at Cook's Corner, which is just a bar down the street, right from
Yeah,
Born
wicked
Free.
cool place.
Yeah, Friday night, we party there. We tally all the votes online. They're all voted online, so people all over the world, have their share. It's not people complain, California stacks the deck because it's, who can show up and vote in person. No, it's online now. You can vote all over the world. And so the most popular guy, as long as his bike made it there, is eligible for that vote. If his bike broke down, he's not eligible for the vote. So we'll still
That's
put him
pretty
on the
cool.
box, but he no Easter eggs. These bikes actually got to run. I think
Yeah.
some
Right.
of those-
Absolutely. Well, Easter eggs can run too.
Yeah, for just not that long.
Yeah.
Well, it
Not that long,
depends.
So
Yeah.
we want bikes with pistons and flywheels in them.
So I'm actually antsy for the voting because one of my BFFs, my fellow teammate on Competition D, Sean Jackson, he's in your competition, and
Oh yeah, Action Jackson.
yeah, man, he is just, love it or hate it, he is putting in so much work. It's like, God,
I love
Sean,
it.
do you ever do anything else?
I love it.
Yeah.
He's putting in the work and he's playing the game. Unfortunately or fortunately, like you got to play the game a little bit. You got to
Yeah.
show us what you're doing over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's part of
definitely.
it. If you just show up with the most beautiful bike in the world, but nobody saw how you got there. It's like you being in first grade. I want to see your work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Show your
Yeah.
work.
I mean, his stuff is so out of the box. I mean, he's building some cool shit there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
also like he's got his hands in. We're racing at Sons of Speed in March. He's we're doing the Cannonball. Like he's got his hands in so many things. It's so cool to kind of be so diverse and yet that's what, he's truly eats, sleeps, and breathes motorcycles.
Jody, you have your hands in so many things. Land speed records, Cannonball, Sons of Speed, running the Perowitz empire over there.
I try to.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Like, it's what we do. I don't really know anything else, so to speak,
Well, good.
It's what
people show up over here every so often and ask us, what's the secret? And it's like, there's no secret. We're just passionate about what we do.
Exactly. You got to love what you do.
Yeah, especially in the motorcycle industry. My boss Bill says I'm not sure it's really an industry at all, to be honest with you.
True. So you go on a ton of trips all over the place. Tell us, where has been your favorite place to travel on a motorcycle?
There's no contest. Baja is always the best place to travel on a motorcycle. Baja. It's the people are great. The roads are good. Sometimes the roads are good. Even when they're not good, it's still fun. Is your dad laying out some flames? Dave, what are you doing over there?
I know, Dad. What are you doing over there?
Dave, we're trying to run a podcast.
Yeah, I know. It's brutal. It's like a squirrel ran by. What?
Sit still, Dave. Sit still.
Checking it out.
Color sanding some flames, huh?
Yeah,
laying out some candy.
While we're sitting here.
Yeah, he was hoping that Biltwell sent him something.
Yeah, I'll be sanding flames later today, though.
Good. Well, I would think at your stage you could pay somebody to sand those flames, Dave.
Well, we've got a lot of work.
Yeah,
and,
we do.
So, and I don't mind doing that, at all.
Yeah. But you've come a long way from being a line mechanic at Chevy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a lot more fun.
I bet.
So, are you guys, you do have a big booth at Born Free, right?
Oh, yeah, we got a booth there.
Yeah, I was
always.
just gonna say, I remember
in the back. Nobody wants to set up next to us, so we're always in the back with like Rusty Butcher and those nerds.
Oh, that's all
Why
right.
don't they want to set up next to you?
I'm not sure, Dave. I'm not sure, but yeah, we just post up in the back and sell our goods, hang out with our friends. Usually I'm back there just making sandwiches and handing out beer and bubbly water.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, well,
keep that in mind.
We're planning on coming to Born Free, and we're going to try to bring a couple bikes, to display.
Well, you should.
I've got an old digger that I built in 1978, 77. And then I've got one that I built a few years ago that's the modern version of that old digger. Oh. So it'd be cool to bring those two bikes out there to display them.
Absolutely few people do the digger like Dave Perowitz.
Yeah. I've been telling him after going to that at how cool he's got to go. He's
never been?
No, I've never been.
No, this year was my first year.
Man. You're not getting any younger.
Yeah, that's
you better hurry up.
Like,
right,
let's go.
Exactly. I say that all the time, Otto. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And these people out here really respect what you have done, for the custom motorcycle scene. Like, you'll be real surprised. There'll be a lot of younger guys that want to pay homage to a legend like you, Dave. And that's not jerking you off. That's just being honest, So people will be pretty happy if you came out, especially if you brought a couple of those bikes. If you look up Digger in Wikipedia, it's got pictures of two men, Dave Perowitz and Arlen Ness.
Really?
That's pretty cool.
Jeez,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, look it up. I just made it up. I hope they're there.
Yeah.
I was going to look it up,
I was getting excited there for a minute.
You had us going.
Yeah, right. No shit.
Yeah. Well, so I guess you guys got the POTS Expo this weekend. Let me put that flyer back up here. At the Del Mar Fairgrounds, Saturday. There'll be a ton of vendors, including the one and only Bobby Seega from Indian Larry.
Yeah.
So
yeah, don't hold that against us. I can put him in his cage if he's a turnoff for you. He's got as many fans as he has enemies, so
he does. I always say that it's you either love Bobby or you hate Bobby. It's one or the other.
Yeah. Not many people in the middle. I love Bobby.
That's what I was
Bobby.
just
We
gonna
love
say.
Bobby, too.
Fortunately, we love Bobby.
Bobby's an old friend.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
old though.
No.
Just an old friend.
Oh, he's getting up there.
Oh, we all are.
He's
So
getting up
that's
there.
that's this weekend, and then you have the People's Champ voting, which is February 2nd to the 5th.
Yep.
What do you got coming up in like April?
April, we have our Biltwell 100 race. It's a desert race out in Ridgecrest, California. And this will be I think our third year doing it out there. So we invite a bunch of kooks to come out and race any motorcycle. We've got a class just for sportsters. We got classes for modern bikes. We've got classes for vintage Jap bikes like that. Mike Davis from Born Free is running a class for the tank shift guys.
Okay. The
and
old bikes.
Yeah, the old bikes. So those guys are out there running. Depending on what your class is, you might have to only do 25 miles, which I think the tank shift guys are doing 25 miles. And then some of the other like modern bikes, they're doing 100 miles in the desert. So they're 25-mile loops. Wow. And they're scaled per class. And we got a lot of men. We have a ton of women that show up.
That's cool. I'd love to do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, you come out and you camp with us a couple nights. It's on BLM land, which is Bureau of Land Management. It's something. Yeah, it's something special in the Southwest.
Yeah, that's who does Bonneville too.
Yeah, it's public land basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so you come out there and you camp. You can come out in a motorhome. You can come out with the pup tent. It doesn't really matter. We'll circle the wagons. We'll have a bonfire. We'll ride some mini bikes, drink some beers, eat some tacos, and then the cherry on top is just having a little bit of racing fun. And after that we'll compare bruises and stitches and talk about how fast we didn't go and just get ready to do it again. You know about racing. It's like the race is kind of just the pinnacle. It's all the stuff leading up to it before, the stuff after that makes it fun. Sometimes the racing is not that fun. We raced a Sportster in the Nora in Baja a few years ago, 2018, and it was really stressful and it wasn't that fun. You know what I mean? But talking about it now, it's great. Leading up to it, getting ready, that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah. Now, hey, where are you guys located?
Southern California, a little town called Temecula. It's basically Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, that's right near Wink then, right? All right, right near where Wink used to be.
Yeah, right where Wink was.
And Daytech
got a shop in Temecula.
Daytech was right up near you too, right?
I don't know if Daytech. I think they're in Orange County, but I mean close. It's close. 50, 60 miles.
I think they were in the high desert.
Okay.
Is that what you call it, the high desert?
No, we're not in the high desert. We're like just north of San Diego, southwest Riverside County, but it's all in the same little sphere.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where we're not. Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, it sounds like Biltwell has a ton of cool events. I wish you guys weren't so far. You're on the wrong coast. You need to be on the right coast. But
there's these things called airplanes, Jody Perowitz, and you can just hop on one at a moment's notice, and you can be here in 5 to 6 hours.
You sound like one of my friends in California. He's like, we're only 5 hours apart. I'm like, yeah, but once you factor in, it takes me an hour to get to the airport, an hour ahead, this and that. I'm like, it's a whole day. And he's like, no, it's not. It's 5 hours. I'm like, you come here. Come this way.
No, I understand. But you guys are always welcome to come out here if you ever want to attend any of our events. We have some camp outs. We have the races we talked about, the People's Champ thing, this little motorcycle expo. Tomorrow night we're having a little for industry. We're having a little summit with some speakers. Brian Clock, Tyler from Lowbrow, Matt Martelli, who runs the Mint 400 race, Bill Bryant, that our founder and art director here, and then Steve from Speed Kings.
That's cool.
They will all be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who won't be speaking there?
Us.
Bob Seeger, Indian Layer.
Oh, really?
No, don't let him speak.
No, I'm not giving him a hot mic ever. He will say something terrible. We'll be out of business. We'll be canceled so fucking fast. It would be entertaining,
though.
It'd be definitely canceled. Definitely entertaining.
You would get some publicity out of it.
Maybe next year we get the King of Flames up there.
They never know.
Plant the seed.
Yeah, that expo sounds like it's up DP's alley.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
All right, Otto. So we're gonna vote on February 5th for
Yep.
People's Champ, and then if we don't see you sooner, we will definitely see you at Cook's Corner before Born Free.
Ride that modern digger out, DP. Ride that thing out there and park it in the parking lot and let guys kind of check it out, and then come check out what we got going too.
It would be cool. It would be cool. So cool to ride that.
Oh, I know.
I'll ride it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Because you guys, it's kind of a show that you got to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least park around the corner and ride it in.
That's right. That might be something that happens. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But not at our show. Our guys are gonna have to ride, 50 miles. So we'll make sure we got road captains babysitting them, make sure that no one's chasing them and
So
fixing
if
stuff
a bike,
on the side of the road.
If one of the bikes breaks down on that ride, right?
Yeah.
Do you allow the guy time to fix it to make it in, or?
Yeah, he can. He's got a couple hours to get there under his own power, But he's got to do it by himself and not a chase truck or something, But those guys, what's cool is they usually help each other,
Right.
As it should be. And I think so far every bike's made it there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big feat for all of them to make it there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool
but
thing.
They
it's
should,
camaraderie.
That's like the old biker build-offs. Do you know that the biker build-offs, right? There was 38 contestants in the biker build-offs. A lot of guys did it a couple times, so it wasn't 38 different, but out of 18 biker build-offs, there probably wasn't 3 that made it all the way. You don't ever see that part.
Dave, you're not making many friends with that statement.
Well, I'm not saying who they were. I'm just saying there was very few that made it, believe me.
Yeah. And man, I get it, and that's TV stuff, and that's kind of to be expected, So I understand, but for our little competition, it's important that the bikes run,
Yeah.
It's important. And in some shows it's not important. And that's okay. Again, that's different strokes for different folks, but
Right.
for ours, that's one of the rules. We want to hand you a bunch of money, but we want to make sure your bike runs.
Well, that was really, I think, part of the fun of the biker build-off was to be able to build the bike that you could ride it, 1,000 miles, and it broke down, you'd have to fix it on the road and make the deadlines, it's funny that Discovery Channel made you sign this big contract saying that if you didn't make it, you defaulted and all that stuff, which was all bullshit. Nobody ever defaulted.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was really, really fun.
And I'll tell you what, anybody my age or a little bit older or maybe a little bit younger, they would be lying if they said they weren't influenced by your guys' Discovery Channel stuff, all those biker build-offs. You know what I mean? That's kind of what made it cool to be a grease monkey again, in my opinion, and put it back in the limelight. And man, that stuff was highly influential, and I wouldn't be lying when I say there'd be no Biltwell without those kind of shows.
Yeah, those shows were so awesome. They were on, I think, like Monday night. I think it was Monday nights, and everybody looked forward to Monday night biker build-off. It was.
It's the next episode.
It was the first one we did. Was just so awesome. I brought 60 people with me. We had 9 trucks and trailers that went to Florida. That brought bikes, and it was all my friends from all over the country. My kids, all the kids rode with us. It was great. It was a great time.
It was a fun ride.
Even the bad portions of it were still great.
Yeah, man, you don't ever talk about the times things went perfect. You know what I mean? It's the stuff when when stuff goes wrong, that's what makes the stories, right? You don't talk about the ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
the sun was out and there was no wind. You know what I mean? And the bikes ran perfect. That's a
Yeah.
shitty story.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's nothing to talk about.
Everyone has to have a little bit of drama.
Yeah, you talk about the time that Wink spiked through a belt and you towed him home 50 miles an hour, which 50 miles an hour might be the slowest Wink's ever rode a bike.
Right.
You know,
Right.
But it might be the fastest he's ever been towed too.
it's
By a
probably the fastest he's
clothesline.
ever
Right.
been towed.
Clothesline rope. Right.
Yeah.
It was ready to snap.
But we had
Yeah.
a lot of fun with Wink in Bonneville. You know, he always set up next to us, and we had our own little camp. It was awesome. We made some great friends. It was an experience that you couldn't even. You couldn't tell anybody. Nobody. You'd have to be there to really gain everything that it was.
Yeah, to
to be
understand
at
the
Bonneville and to race at
experience.
Bonneville.
Well, that's why you're cool, Dave, is that you're passing that on to your daughter. And I assume your daughter's passing it along to somebody else, you know, for these stories and experiences and wisdom to not get lost is important. And
Yeah.
I could tell you that's something that's special about motorcycles, hot rods. They don't have that in all, you know, hobbies or niches. You know what I mean? It's not like that everywhere else, you know, like where we have this lineage, you know, we got easy riders, you know, we don't shoot our old guys, you know, we put them on a pedestal and listen to their stories, you know what I mean? And it's not like that in all. They don't do that in model airplanes and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
golf maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know, maybe it does, I don't know, but for us that's what makes it really cool is that we do these kind of things. We have swap meets, we have bike shows, you know.
Yeah.
We have the old guys around that we still invite to tell us about how it used to be, you know, and what's changed and when it changed and why it changed, you know. And that's unique to what we got going on in the motorcycle and hot rod community too. I think those are two kind of meshed things, you know, at least in Southern California they are.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think there's any other industry that compares to what we have going on in the motorcycle world.
I mean, you know, we're not doing it for the money.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, but that's
We're
kind of
doing
why I started these podcasts, because he tells such good stories, and it's not like you can Google the stories, you know, you got to hear it firsthand. And this is motorcycling history, you know. So, you know, the 16-year-old that just got a Sportster and is riding, like, he should know, you know, how they customized the Sportster and how the events were, you know, 50 years ago, and who the people are that brought up the custom world, you know. That's, so I feel like, you know, you're not gonna Google it. Like I said, you gotta experience it through these people.
Well, good on you, Jody, for leading the charge, because I absolutely agree with that statement. Someone's got to get out there and tell the stories, you know.
Yeah, they're good stories.
And pass it
He
down.
always tells me a new one literally every day. You know, like the FedEx that just came, I have no idea what it is, but I'm sure he'll think of something. Hey, one time, you know, that, you know, there's just so many stories. And when you live this life, and like I said, this is what we do. This is all we do. This is, and by choice, you know. So where you've been in, what was the last time you had a job? 1972?
Yeah, 1970 was the last
70?
job I had. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a long time to be in the same industry and that be your only occupation. You know, like, he didn't have another job substituting motorcycles. You know, it wasn't like motorcycles was a hobby. It's been his only job for that long. So, you know, you have cool stories and experiences of people, events, motorcycles, everything. And I think that's cool to know the history of this industry.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
You know, there's not too many of us old guys left out there, you know. I mean, really, I mean, I go back every once in a while. I'll pick up an old magazine and I'll see old faces, and I'm like, geez, that guy's gone, that guy, you know, whether they're dead or they're just out of business or whatever. But, you know, there's not too many that have hanged in there, you know, and the ones that have are my friends, and we've all kind of hung together.
I don't like to think of you as old.
Yeah.
Stop saying old.
Yeah. Well, Well, I'm not of retirement
Timeless.
age yet.
Timeless.
Yeah, but I don't think you have retirement in
No,
your
I
dictionary.
absolutely
So
don't. I will never retire.
yeah. All right, Otto. So we don't want to hog up too much of your day because I'm sure you have events to plan, products to sell, all of the above.
I don't do anything over here, Jody. Just ask around.
Well, I'm sure Bobby Sieg is lingering somewhere waiting for lunch or something. Cause
I got to go to lunch with Bobby. That is true. That's probably the only thing I
Yeah,
gotta
See?
get
tell
done
him we
today.
said hello.
yeah, give him
Yeah.
a hug for me.
Yeah. for
I'm not
sure.
hugging him. He's been in that van for a minute. I'm not hugging him, but I'll tell him you said hello.
Did he
Okay.
drive out there?
No,
He drove out a month ago for Aiden's ride, and
Oh, yeah.
we host the Southern California Aiden's ride every year, which is
Yeah.
something I'm real proud of, and I hold that near and dear. I'm grateful that he lets us do that, and then he left all his stuff here, and then he just came back for this show too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So he hasn't been in the van too long.
No, he's been on an airplane and stuff,
Give him a week.
Okay.
Then he might be.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we'll I'll tell him you said hello, and I hope to run into you guys this year. I know I will, at the People's Champ or Sturgis or both.
Definitely,
Yeah,
we'll be.
right.
We'll
well,
be.
I think we'll be at both, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll be at the People's Champ rooting for Sean
Yeah.
Jackson,
Okay.
Action Jackson.
Okay, we'll make a stink on Instagram. That's how he gets the votes.
Oh, I'm gonna. I already do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
All right,
Awesome.
Otto, thank you very much. And like I said, thank you for making cool products. Thank you for my bag that literally travels everywhere with me. That if that bag could tell stories, it would
That's
probably.
quite a statement, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
You should use that in your
Yeah.
advertisements.
That bag does.
You
Yeah.
let me know when you wanna when you need a new one. We'd love
When
to
you guys
retire that thing.
change it up. Because
Okay,
honestly,
we have some new iterations coming real soon.
you know what? The only thing that I could say about that bag is it needs pockets. It doesn't have enough pockets.
Okay, I'll run that up the flagpole.
But I use one of my sponsors, Reliable Diamond Tool. He gave me these cloth bags that have his logo on them and they have a drawstring. So, and they're like, I don't know, 12 inches, 16 inches. So they're decent size. So I just put my underwear and socks in one of those, t-shirts in another one of those, and then put it in that bag. Because that bag can be so big, it can be like a bottomless pit.
Yeah, well, we try to make them
That's
simple
a good
and
thing
for
when you're on
people
the
to.
road.
True.
Yeah, we want them to be customizable, like what you're doing. That's exactly what you should
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Like compartmentalize with your own little stuff, but we'll keep it all together.
Yeah, that bag is a great bag. It's very well made. You would not know how many miles that bag has on it, as far as wear.
I'll tell Bill that, and man, I can tell you. I mean, I've ridden all over, and our bags are what hold all my junk too.
Yeah.
And we're not nice to them. We're not making them so they look good on Instagram. We're making them so that they don't fall apart in Baja or Alaska.
Or on the
we put 'em through the
Cannonball or
paces.
the Chase.
Cannonball, crossing the Midwest on an old JD
Mhm.
or something like that. We're making them for riders. We actually ride motorcycles over here. I know it's crazy that you own a motorcycle company and or work at a motorcycle company. I don't own anything, but that you ride motorcycles if you're in the motorcycle industry. That doesn't seem to be a prerequisite, but it should be.
It should be. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But all right, Otto, thanks for coming on today. We appreciate your time, and we hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Otto.
You guys have a good day. Hey,
You
Dave,
too.
I'm serious. Thanks for letting me be on the podcast with you. That's
no
it's
problem.
pretty
And
big.
hopefully we'll see you soon.
You will, sir. King of Flames, Dave Perwitz.
See ya.
Bye.
Whoops, wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry. All right, guys. So that was our show today. We will be back next week for another show. I want to shout out to India Motorcycles and Law Tigers for sponsoring Chopper History today. Here's our Daytona schedule. If you guys missed the beginning of our show, Saturday, March 3rd, Sons of Speed, New Smyrna Speedway. I will be racing with my fellow teammates, Sean Jackson, who is in the Biltwell People's Champ. I hope you guys vote for him on February 3rd. And also my buddy, Tom Banks. So the three of us will be racing motorcycles at Sons of Speed Saturday, Although somebody just said that it's March 4th. Let me just double check that. It is March 4th. Sorry, I guess I got to fix that. So it's Saturday, March 4th at New Smyrna Speedway. And then Wednesday, March 8th, which is the Perowitz Paint Show at the Broken Spoke. Thursday, March 9th, Willie's Choppa Show on Route 1 in Ormond Beach. Also, if you guys want one of t-shirts at Competition Distributing, let me see if I can put that. Here it is. competitiondist.com. They have our shirts and hats on there for sale. So if any of you guys want one of those, go over to that website and get one. And I think that's it. You got anything else to add to it, Dad?
Nope, I think we're good.
Oh, I know. So people keep asking me, why are you selling your Indian? Why are you selling your Indian? I am only selling my Indian because I want to get a new one. I would like to get a 23. Same thing, Indian Challenger. I want to start fresh. I got an idea for a paint job. So rather than take mine apart and repaint it, I want to start fresh. So that is why I'm selling my Indian. I'm not selling it for any other reason. I love that bike. I ride it a ton.
The great bike.
Yes, it really is. So if anybody's interested, I am selling my 2020 Challenger. I have it on our Facebook page, so you guys can just scroll back and find it. It is for sale. So that is the only reason why I'm selling it. I also inherited a Road Glide, so I'm the other brand. I'm going to ride that. I have to ride that for reasons. So anyway, that is why I'm selling my Indian. And also you have that that Road King. Tell people about that Road King quick.
Yeah.
Give it a
I
plug.
have a 92 FLHS. Real clean bike. Got it from an old timer that couldn't ride anymore. I think it's got like 40,000 miles. It's had the top end done at some point.
Here's a picture of it. Where is it?
A real nice bike.
Is it okay?
I
No.
just went through it. It's got tires and changed all the fluids and redid the carburetor. And I'm only asking $5,500 for it.
All right. So
If somebody's
5,500.
interested, they want a nice, touring bike that they don't want to spend a lot of money, give me a call.
Okay. That's what we got for today. So we will catch you guys next week for another show of Choppa History. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Okay.